Lesson 16. I have no neutral thoughts. The idea for today is a beginning step in dispelling the belief that your thoughts have no effect. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false. Those that are true create their own likeness. Those that are false make theirs. There is no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thoughts. What gives rise to the perception of a whole world can hardly be called idle. Every thought you have contributes to truth or to illusion. Either it extends the truth or it multiplies illusions. You can indeed multiply nothing, but you will not extend it by doing so. Besides your recognizing that thoughts are never idle, salvation requires that you also recognize that every thought you have brings either peace or war, either love or fear. A neutral result is impossible because a neutral thought is impossible. There is such a temptation to dismiss fear thoughts as unimportant, trivial, and not worth bothering about, that it is essential you recognize them all as equally destructive, but equally unreal. We will practice this idea in many forms before you really understand it. In applying the idea for today, search your mind for a minute or so with eyes closed and actively seek not to overlook any little thought that may tend to elude the search. This is quite difficult until you get used to it. You will find that it is still hard for you not to make artificial distinctions. Every thought that occurs to you, regardless of the qualities that you assign to it, is a suitable subject for applying today's idea. In the practice periods, first repeat the idea to yourself. I have no neutral thoughts. And then, as each one crosses your mind, hold it in awareness while you tell yourself, this thought about is not a neutral thought. This thought about, I got myself on, is not a neutral thought. As usual, use today's idea whenever you are aware of a particular thought that arouses uneasiness. The following form is suggestive for this purpose. This thought about is not a neutral thought because I have no neutral thoughts. 4 or 5 practice periods are recommended if you find them relatively effortless. If strain is experienced, 3 will be enough. The length of the exercise period should also be reduced if there's discomfort. I have no idle thoughts. This one is a game changer because once you really start to understand and get this, and you're doing these mind-searching exercises, and the more you do it, the more you will start to do it automatically and involuntarily, which is great when you're not consciously practicing. And you will start to see the thoughts that are crossing your mind and the energy behind them, whether they're loving or fearful. And it's really kind of a whoa, it's a game changer. This one, once you start to get the depth of it, it will transform how you see yourself and how you see the world around you. There's one part that is really important that I want to emphasize again. It says in the second paragraph, every thought you have contributes to truth or to illusion. It either extends the truth or it multiplies illusions. This is what is so big about this, because what is that saying, that quote, you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. And I have to tell you, when it comes down to applying this in our relationships, this one is gold. This is such a big, important principle and concept in A Course in Miracles, because what you're thinking about someone, it's that idea of what are you thinking about someone that God would not be thinking about them? What are you not thinking about them that God would be thinking about them? The quality of the thoughts you think. What are you thinking about this? And it really helps you to see your part. Take control and responsibility over how you are thinking about it, thus how you are perceiving it and showing up within that experience. Everything really does change when you start to practice this. I don't know about you, but this really gets me in the taking responsibility part of myself, because it's so important to take back the power that we have, to be aware of it, and then to take it back, take control of it. What can we control? What we're thinking. We are responsible for that. And we are at choice how we use it. I heard Sarah Landon quote the counsel that she channels as saying something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here, every thought and feeling that you have is your contribution to consciousness. Hello, your contribution to the world. How did you contribute, miracle worker? It's a serious responsibility. This one really gets me when it comes to taking 100% responsibility, and not only being aware of that more and more, but the seriousness of taking 100% responsibility for what I'm thinking. Our power as children of God, created by God to create with our thinking. So that's our power. We have to become aware of that and understand that that's our power. And then understand that we are at choice how we use it, that there are no idle thoughts. We can think what we want to think, but there's going to be some kind of effect. What is your gift to the world today? How did you do? That's why God is not keeping score, because he doesn't see it in that way. But that's why these lessons, these exercises are so important. For us, we're responsible. We have free will to choose and keep up with it. I love to go back and take an inventory of my day at nighttime when I'm going over the lesson again, the idea again at night. How did I do today with this? What came up for me? What were the thoughts I was thinking? What was my contribution to consciousness today? Was it more fearful or was it more loving? Was I working miracles, or was I just wasting time, causing my own pain and suffering? So then we get that all of our thoughts matter. There's no idle thoughts. Every thought we think is carrying energy. It's contributing to the momentum of the world, whether we're going towards love or we're going towards fear. And that'll really snap you out of it if you get it on the level of awareness, taking responsibility for your thinking. Either you're extending love or you're projecting fear. Either you're part of the problem and multiplying illusions, as this lesson said, or you're part of the solution and you're working miracles, which is what you were created to do. Are you working miracles, or are you deflecting them? What's the quality of the thoughts that you think? Because there is a force. The Course says, this is going to go very Star Wars right now. There is a creative force, which is God, and you are an extension of God. So you are a creative force too. The only difference is he created you, you did not create him. So there's a hierarchy there. But you have that creative ability. There is a higher power. There is a force that is wanting to extend. It's love, by the way. It's God. It's love. It's wanting to extend and extend and extend. So are you joining up with it? Which side are you choosing? Are you working miracles? Are you partnering with God? Are you in that divine relationship, joining with the mind of God and love? Or are you choosing to join with lovelessness? Are you using your mind for holy purposes? Are you using your mind for unholy purposes? Are you working miracles, or are you wasting time and deflecting miracles? Kind of the bottom line. The good news is that in any moment you can choose to work miracles. You can choose to realign with loving thought. It's that simple. It's something you have to proactively decide to do. Decide for God, decide for love. That is why we search our mind. That is why we look at the quality of our thoughts. There are no idle thoughts. And to get really practical about it, on a personal scale, what are your thoughts about this relationship? What are your thoughts about that relationship? What are your thoughts about this situation and that situation, this person and that person? What are your thoughts about yourself within that? Because that affects who you are and how you show up in all of those situations, even for yourself in the world. The problems that are immediate personally around us, are you working a miracle for yourself? Or are you deflecting a miracle for yourself? It's that black and white. We can learn to choose differently and see things differently in every situation. So this is about healing personally and healing collectively. The salvation of the world begins with the salvation of your own insane thoughts, changing them from fear to love. Watching your thoughts and understanding the creative power of your mind, of thought, and the serious responsibility that comes with free will and choice is a big first step, a huge monumental first step in the awareness and in shifting everything. It will transform your personal life and ultimately transform the world. I'll see you tomorrow.